Hi everyone, and welcome to Music Theory with Lorna Katz. This is the first video in a series of educational music theory classes. Today, we will be going over the basics of music, specifically the music staff, the names of the notes, and the two most used clefs in music, which are treble and bass clef. This music theory classes are being presented during our Wednesday virtual rehearsals with the San Diego chorus of Sweet Adelines International. So let's take a look at the music staff. The music staff is comprised of 5 lines and 4 spaces. Each line and space have a designated note name based on the clef being used for that staff. In choral and barbershop music, there are 2 staves, the treble clef staff and the bass clef staff. The 2 staves are tied together by a bow-like bracket on the left-hand side, creating a system. A system is a continuous line of music which continues to the end of the page. And then a new system is created with the same setup of a bracket going all the way to the end of the page. The treble clef is also known as the G clef. The reason it's called that is because of this little curl here, which encircles the line where the G notes would be for the treble clef. The bass clef is also known as the F clef, and it's because of these 2 dots that surround the line where the note F would be on this particular line for the bass clef. In Western music, the notes go from A to G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and repeats. Once it has reached G, it starts all over to A again. Let's take a look at the notes for both treble and bass clef. For the treble clef, there are 5 lines, starting from the bottom up. E, G, B, D, F. There are also 4 spaces, F, A, C, E. Another way to memorize is to learn the names of the lines with this mnemonic phrase. Every good barbershopper does fine. E, G, B, D, F. For the spaces, well, this is a lucky one for you. It spells the word face. F, A, C, E. For the bass clef, for the 5 lines from the bottom up, from the bottom it's G, B, D, F, A. The mnemonic phrase for the basses is good basses do fine always. Or you could always say good baritones do fine always. As for the spaces, well, it spells part of a word. A, C, E, and G, or ace G. In women's barbershop music, you will notice that on the bass clef, there is this small 8 above it. This little 8 is called an octava. An octava tells the persons performing on this particular clef that they are to perform these notes or to sing these notes an octave above of what is actually written. In women's barbershop, you will see this only on the bass clef. If you were to read men's barbershop, you will notice that there will be a little 8 just below the treble clef. And that's telling them to literally sing an octave down than the written notes on the page. Well, that's all the time we have for today's music theory class. Today we learned about the music staff, the names of the notes, we learned about the treble and the bass clef, and in both clefs we learned where the notes lie on the lines and the spaces. We also learned about the octava and its function. If you want to be notified about more music theory classes, simply subscribe below. And if you want a handout for today's lesson, In the description, there is a link to Google Docs, and you can find the paper, the handout for today's lesson. Until then, bye for now.